Right, today's video is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be doing a comparison with the newly released Action 5 Pro's subject tracking versus the DJI Pocket 3 Active Track 6. Again, if you follow my channel, you'll see that I've done some previous tests with the Active Track 6 on the Pocket 3, and then just lately with the newly released Action 5 Pro, the subject tracking. Now that subject tracking is absolutely flawless. I cannot fault it whatsoever. But unfortunately, the Pocket 3 in previous tests is not as good as the subject tracking. So that's why I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison today, because I want to see which camera is going to come out on top. Now both cameras are on the latest firmware, so there's going to be no excuses there from DJI. Now straight off the bat, you'd think the Pocket 3 would win hands down because it's got that rotatable gimbal, so it can follow you in any direction. I'll send them more. So just in front of me there's a clearing. So we'll get both cameras set up on tripods. First of all, we'll start with the Active Track 6 on the Pocket 3, and then we'll switch over to the Action 5 Pro's subject tracking. Here we go. Right now I've got both cameras set up, and you'll be able to see I'm filming the rear screen of the Pocket 3, so you'll be able to see the Active Track green box around me, just to see if it's tracking me there. So now let's do some basic testing. I'm around 2 meters away. Let's walk right to left, left to right, and see if the Active Track 6 can be really responsive to this. Because I'm not too far away, I can see the gimbal rotating, so I know it's following me rather well. So that's good, everything's good. Okay, so now I've just paced up and down in front of the camera at 2 meters. I'll go a little bit of speed. Hey, that's not bad. As I said, previous tests have shown that the Active Track 6 is also flawless within 2 meters. Now let's get back to around 5 meters and do the same tests. Now I'm at a distance of 5 meters. Let's do the same tests. And again, pick the pace up a little bit. Yep. So that's doing well. Now what happens if I walk straight behind this tree? Let's see. And I can tell you that that's failed straight away. Yep. So it loses you. Now this is what I was talking about from previous tests. That's not even a thick tree trunk, yet the Active Track 6 on the Pocket 3 loses you straight away. So that's one fail from the Active Track on the Pocket 3. You lost me behind that, well, rather thin tree. Okay, now let's do some distance tests with the Pocket 3 on Active Track 6. Again, I'm filming the screen behind so you can see. As the Mimo app's, again, not responsive. When you double tap, there's no green box around me, so I don't know if it's following me or not. But I can see that gimbal's following me at the moment, so let's do some distance tests. So hopefully, I'm not just walking off here. And let's just hope the Active Track 6 not deactivated here, or you're just walking around for no reason. So as I'm walking across here, have I got the green box around me? And as the Active Track 6 picked me up, I'm walking back now. And as I'm getting closer, I do see that gimbal pointing towards me as I'm walking past here. Fail. Right. So that's 2 fails to the Pocket 3. So the Pocket 3's lost me going behind this thin tree here. And that's around 20 metres away. And I don't know until I get back in post when that lost me or not. So now let's do some disappearing tests with the Pocket 3 and then reappear, see if it picks me back up. Right, with the Pocket 3 I can't exactly disappear from the frame because as I try and disappear from the frame it's not going to let me. So that won't be a fair comparison test with the Action 5 Pro. So the only way to disappear out the frame is to get down here very rapidly. And now let's see if it picks me back up. Ah, you did this time, well done. Previous test didn't do that. I'll do. Right, now disappeared, I've sneaked off camera. I'm going to reappear, see if it picks me back up. Ah. With Active Track 6 so far, it's great when you keep within 2 metres and do some light walking, not really fast movements, and don't hide behind anything no matter how thick the tree trunk is. So now I've done a few tests with the Pocket 3 on Active Track 6, let's switch over to the Action 5 Pro with the subject tracking, to the same tests, and let's just see the results. Here we go. So now I've switched over to the Action 5 Pro. I've enabled subject tracking. The only difference is from the Pocket 3. The Pocket 3 was filming in 4K 30, but on the Action 5 Pro it has to be 2.7K 30 frames because the subject tracking doesn't allow 4K 30 yet. But maybe in a firmware update from DJI that may happen. Right. So now I'm on subject tracking with the Action 5, 2 metres away. Let's just walk left and right. Now the tricky thing is with this, when you get to around 5 metres, you just can't see if it's tracking you or not, because unlike the Pocket 3, that's got a gimbal. So as you're looking, the gimbal's following you. So you've got to have a lot of faith in the subject tracking with the Action 5 Pro. But again, previous tests show that it is really good. So that's the walking. Let's do a little bit of speed test. Now the Pocket 3 we're keeping up, doing the exact 2 tests here. That's a bit of speed test. Now let me get back to around 5 metres. Okay, I'm pretty confident that the 2 metre walking test and running and 5 metre walking backwards and forwards there, that the subject tracking is going to keep tracking me. Now this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to disappear behind this tree, but first I'll have to reposition the camera because again, it's a static fixed lens, so it can't rotate like the Pocket 3. So I'm just going to have to shift the camera into a position where it can see me disappear behind this tree, and hopefully the subject tracking is going to pick me back up. So now I've repositioned the Action 5 Pro. As you can see, the trees behind me, it's the same tree as the Pocket 3 lost me. So let's just see what the subject tracking on the Action 5 Pro does. Hopefully it doesn't lose me. Here we go. So this is where the Pocket 3 lost me straight away, as the Action 5 Pro. I'll even go backwards and forwards. So there we go. So did the subject tracking keep locked on as I walked past the tree? We'll see from post. Now let's do that same distance test as I did with the Pocket 3. Again, that lost me, which was unfortunate. So I'll walk right over there to the side of the pond, left and right and all the way back, and let's just see if that green box keeps around me. Here we go. So now I'm going to do that same distance test as I did with the Pocket 3. So let's just see if the subject tracking on the Action 5 Pro can keep up. Again, it'd be great if DJI make a firmware where this Mimo app coincides with the tracking, so you can actually be visually seeing if it's tracking me or not, to do some even further tests. So I'm hoping the subject tracking is keeping track. Or has it not been able to keep up? It's going to be interesting to see. Have a bit of faith. Oh, very interesting. As I get to around 3 metre mark, I can see me in the front OLED screen with a green box around me. So fingers crossed, that's tracked me all that way. Okay, the disappearing test and then the reappearing test. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do the final test where I disappear from the frame and then re-enter the frame. I know this is a fixed lens, so I can literally get out of the frame and then back in, but I just want to do exactly what I did with the Pocket 3, just because it's a comparison video. So we'll go straight down and back up, and straight away that's got me, that's good. Just like the Pocket 3, side by side up to here. So now I'm going to duck down, disappear from the frame. I want to do exactly what I did with the Pocket 3, just so it's a fair comparison. So I'm going to get out of the frame and come back in. Now this is where the Pocket 3 failed, and I did do it several times just to make sure. I did really try to get that in, but obviously I'm not going to show you all 7 times. Here we go. So we're going to disappear. I'm going to shimmy out the way. There we go. Now I'm going to re-enter the frame, and will it pick me up? Yes, straight away I can see. You see what I mean? So up to now, I can tell that subject tracking is a lot better than the Active Track 6 on the Pocket 3. And if you wasn't familiar with this Active Track 6 and the subject tracking, if you was to read into it straight away, you would assume that the Pocket 3 is a lot better with that gimbal what can rotate. And that can move anywhere and it can follow me all the way around. So you'd think hands down that's going to win. Not to be the case, is it? Again, disappear. And then reappear swiftly and it picks me up. Look at that, that's amazing, isn't it? So I feel a little bit sorry for the Pocket 3. So I'm going to do that test again. But I'm not going to disappear so quickly, and I'm going to re-enter the frame slowly. So let's just see if the Active Track 6 is going to pick me up this time. Here we go. So I'll disappear from the frame. There you go. It just cannot do it. Hello? Oh, it just does not pick you back up. As soon as the Pocket 3 loses you, no matter if you're going out of frame down like I've been doing, or you quickly get out of there or disappear behind any kind of object, this Active Track 6 just loses you. So now I've completed the tracking system tests with both DJI cameras. What's your thoughts on the subject tracking versus the Active Track 6? You'll be able to see from the footage which is the clear winner there. Now I haven't got back and edited this yet, but I can confidently say, I know I'm right now because I'll eat my words, but I can confidently say that the subject tracking on the Action 5 Pro is the clear winner. So as you've just seen from the footage on the comparison test, I tried to keep replicating the same motion over both cameras, walking around in the frame, then running, disappearing, and then the distance test. And it's really strange again how I can just disappear behind, it's not just a tree, it's any object with the Pocket 3, and it fails to pick me back up. Yet the subject tracking on the Action 5 Pro picks me back up straight away. It's pretty flawless, as I've said before. So as always, stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be plenty more videos in the near future. So for now, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and bye for now.